There's really no trick to hair growth. It's science. That's it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. My name is Deandra, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I grew my natural hair and just my natural hair journey. So I know that there are a lot of tricks or hacks out there for how to grow your natural hair super fast, but to be honest, y'all, most of these things don't actually work. Your hair grows on its own. You don't have to actually do anything to make your hair grow. So hair grows on average ½ an inch a month. So if you do the math, then that means that within 1 year, you should have 6 inches of new hair growth. Now that is the ideal situation if you don't have any breakage, any setbacks, you don't get any trims, nothing. But that's not really realistic. Realistically, I would say that if you take care of your hair, you can expect your hair to grow on average about 4 to 5 inches every single year. And that math pretty much checks out for me. I am about 5 years natural and my hair is somewhere around 20 inches long. So before I get into my personal tips for how I grew my hair this long, I'm going to start off with a little bit of context about my own natural hair journey because everybody's journey is different. So I'm also going to insert some pictures so that y'all can kind of see where my hair started compared to where my hair is now. So like most of us, I started getting relaxers when I was a child, and I used to just get the Just For Me kitty relaxers, which didn't really straighten my hair, but it just kind of loosened my curl pattern a little bit. And then eventually I begged my mom to let me start getting the Beautiful Beginnings relaxers because I wanted my hair to be a little bit straighter. And it was around this time when my mom stopped doing my relaxers and I started going to a hairstylist to get my relaxers. And I went to the same hairstylist that she went to. And basically from about middle school up until college, I was going to this same hairstylist. She washed, styled, and did all my relaxers. She pretty much handled my hair care for me. And for the most part, my hair was relatively healthy, or as healthy as my hair could be in its relaxed state. She did do deep conditioning treatments when I would go, and she gave me regular trims. But my hair was pretty lifeless, I didn't have a lot of volume, and it never would grow past my shoulders back then. So I kept doing this until I went off to college, and I did not get a hairstylist in the town that my college was in. I would just wait until I went home to get the same hairstylist back home to do my hair. And that was kind of when things started going left because I was not doing anything to my hair in between me going home to see her. I would literally just wrap my hair up at night and the next day comb it down and walk to class. That was it. So that was around 2012. That was when I started college. And then my sophomore year of college, I started feeling like I wanted a change. I wanted to do something new. And I saw Sierra had this style and her hair was like blonde in the front and blonde at the ends. And I told my mom that I wanted to dye my hair. And so I went to my hairstylist and she did it. It looked really cute in the beginning, but she really didn't tell me what to do with my hair. All she said was to just put oil on it. And at this time, I didn't know anything about hair care. And basically, all of that blonde hair broke off. Within probably 6 or 7 months, all of that blonde was completely gone. My hair had broken off. My hair was super damaged looking and it just was not in a healthy state. And this was around the time when I was like, all right, I need to start taking care of my hair. At that time, I was mainly focused on long hair, but I also knew that in order to get long hair, my hair had to be healthy. So May of 2014 was my last official relaxer. And after that, I started to do some research on healthy hair. And so I started to look up on YouTube videos about how to grow long, healthy, relaxed hair. So at this time, I was not focused on going natural. I thought I just wanted my hair to be relaxed, but long and healthy. So most of the girls that I saw that had this long, healthy, relaxed hair, they actually texlaxed their hair. So for those that don't know, texlaxing is basically what I was doing when I was a kid, when I was getting the Kitty Just For Me relaxers. That's pretty much what texlaxing is. You can either use a low strength relaxer like a Just For Me, or you can use a regular strength relaxer but only leave it on your hair for a very short amount of time. I chose to do both of those things. So I used a Just For Me relaxer, but I also only left it on for about 5 minutes. And I also started to stretch my relaxers. So I will only do this texlaxing every 4 months. So I would go home and my mom and I would texlax my hair every 4 months. And we did that for about a year, which is only about 3 times that I actually texlax my hair. But it worked out pretty well. In between my texlaxing, I was washing my hair myself. I was deep conditioning. I was really just learning how to take care of my hair. So as I kept texlaxing, I started to realize that although my hair was still curly, it was almost impossible to get my hair the exact same way every single time I texlaxed. And so my curls started to look a little weird and wonky, and I just didn't like it. And on top of that, since I was stretching my relaxers, I had about 2 whole inches of new growth. And I could see those beautiful curls that were coming through. And I was just like, why am I texlaxing? I'm just gonna transition to natural. So from May of 2014 to May of 2015, I was texlaxing my hair. And then after May of 2015, I stopped texlaxing and I began to just grow out my natural hair. And I did not do the big chop. I just slowly started to cut off my ends. And y'all, this was like a crazy time because during this time I had 3 different textures in my hair. So I had my natural roots, my texlaxed middle part, and then the ends of my hair were completely straight and relaxed. It was a lot going on. But like I said, I slowly cut off my relaxed ends. And by the time that I graduated from college in May of 2016, I pretty much only had my natural hair and a little bit of my texlaxed hair. So although I still had 2 different curl patterns, it was a lot easier to style my hair because my hair still was all curly. And as that year went on, I kept cutting little by little until about the end of 2016, my hair was completely natural. And pretty much from that point on, I just kept doing what I had been doing and my hair just flourished. My hair has never been as long and as healthy as my hair is now. Not only is my hair longer, but it's so much thicker. I have very, very dense hair, which I had no idea that my hair was dense when my hair was relaxed because it was always very flat and it just looked like I had no hair. So to see my hair now is literally like a miracle. I never thought my hair would be like this. So that is my natural hair journey in a short, condensed version. So now I'm going to get into some of the tips that I followed to get my hair to a nice, healthy state, which led to hair growth. So the first thing that you should prioritize when you're trying to grow your hair nice and healthy is moisture. Natural hair has a tendency to be dry, and if you think about it, it just simply makes sense. We have oils that come out of our scalp, but they have to travel all the way down to the ends of our hair. And if your hair is straight, it's a lot easier for that oil to get all the way down your hair. But if your hair is curly and coily, it's just a lot harder for that oil to get all the way down. So because of this, it's important for natural hair that we make sure that we're always putting that moisture back into our hair. And the reason for that is that dry hair equals breakage. When your hair is nice and moisturized, it's very supple, which means that it's not likely to break. However, if your hair is dry, that means that your strands are going to be really brittle, and any type of manipulation is going to cause that strand to break off. So the best way to make sure that you are getting moisture into your hair is to always check the ingredients on your products and make sure that water is somewhere towards the top, if not the first product listed in the ingredients. Oils do not moisturize your hair. You want to apply products that add moisture to your hair first, and then follow up with an oil to seal in that moisture. So this topic of moisture leads right into my second tip, which is deep conditioning. I absolutely swear by deep conditioning. Y'all, I know that washing your hair is a task. I know wash day is an all-day process, and there are times when you're not gonna feel like deep conditioning your hair. But I promise it is so worth it. It's literally a must that you deep condition your hair, because regular moisturizers are not able to penetrate your hair shaft the way that deep conditioning does. So there are two different types of deep conditioners that you can use. If you need more moisture, then you should reach for a deep conditioner that is a moisturizing deep conditioner. However, there's also protein deep conditioners that you need to add to your regimen if your hair is lacking protein. But it's important that you maintain the moisture protein balance, because too much moisture makes your hair really, really mushy and it just won't hold your styles at all. And too much protein makes your hair really brittle. So you want to make sure that you're always paying attention to your hair to know which one your hair actually needs at that time. So my next tip is to use heat sparingly. And when I say sparingly, I mean very, very sparingly. So as you can see, my hair right now is actually straight. It's not really that straight right now because it's been about 2 weeks since I straightened my hair. So now it looks more like a regular blowout. But nonetheless, it has been straightened. But this is something that I personally only do once a year. Sometimes I even go longer than a year to straighten my hair, partially because it takes so much work and it doesn't last very long, but also because heat damage is real. And even if you're super, super careful and you use all of your heat protectants, using too much heat on your hair can cause damage. And once those curls are damaged, there's really no way for you to fix it. You literally have to just cut it off. So even if you're just blow drying your hair, you still have to be careful because you're still applying heat to your strands. So one thing that you can do instead of using heat, you can use things such as flexi rods, or you can use curl formers, other types of ways to stretch your hair without using heat. You can also blow dry your hair on cool if you just want a voluminous look, or you just want something as a foundation for another style. You can just not use heat at all. It'll take longer to dry, but you could potentially save your hair some heat damage by doing this. And that leads me right into my next tip, which is to keep your hair stretched. So I know you're probably like, I just told y'all not to use heat on your hair, and I did. But heat is not the only way that you can stretch your curls. When I say stretch your hair, I mean any style that elongates your natural curl. So that can be a twist out, that can be a braid out, that can be flexi rods, like I said earlier. Anything that you're doing to make sure that your hair is not in a completely shrunken state all the time. So for you, that might mean that you can't do wash and goes every single week. The thing about wash and goes is that it is accentuating your natural curl pattern. So when it dries, your hair is going to shrink, and that could lead to tangles and single strand knots, which can lead to breakage. For me, I still love to do wash and goes, but I put duck clips on the ends to try to stretch my hair out, and I keep those duck clips in until my hair is completely dry, and that way I keep my hair from just completely shrinking up. Another thing, when you wash your hair, it's important that you go ahead and style your hair while it's still damp. You don't really want to wait until your hair is completely dry, because that can lead to your hair becoming matted and really hard to detangle. So pretty much whatever you have to do to stretch your hair, do that. I love twist outs, I love braid outs. Those are like my favorite stretch styles, but just find something that works well for you. My next tip for how you can retain your length is finger detangling. You can use a comb on your natural hair. I'm not one of those people that's going to tell you to never comb your natural hair, but if you're going to use a comb on your natural hair, please do it very carefully, especially on your ends. Your ends are the oldest and most fragile part of your hair, so you don't want to snap those off just because you're being too rough with your comb. The reason why I prefer to finger detangle is because I can actually feel my hair, and I can feel every single tangle, and I can carefully work that tangle out. When you're using a comb, it's not as easy to feel each tangle, and if you're not careful, you can just snap your hair off while you're trying to detangle it. And regardless of how you're detangling your hair, you never detangle your hair while it is dry. Make sure that your hair is coated with some type of conditioner or products that gives your hair a lot of slip, and this really helps you to work your fingers through your hair. Your fingers will just glide through your hair versus feeling like you are fighting against your tangles. I always detangle my hair before I wash it during my pre-poo process. I take my spray bottle and I wet my hair first, and then I coat it with a nice thick conditioner, and I go section by section working those tangles out. And after I've done each section, I just twist it up and I wash my hair in those same sections so that my hair does not get tangled up again during the wash process. So the next thing that you can do is incorporate protective styling. So these can be things that include added hair, or they can be your own hair. So I personally do both. I've done faux locks, butterfly locks, braids, all those sorts of things with added hair. But I've also done protective styling with my own hair. I've done mini twists, mini braids, finger coils. All of these things are considered protective styling because you're putting your hair in one style and leaving it alone. The key to protective styling is that you're not manipulating your hair. Low manipulation is always great for hair growth. They give your hair a break, but they also give you a break. Natural hair is not easy. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking that it is. It's not easy, and we all get tired. And protective styles give you a nice break, and plus they look really cute. Best of both worlds. So the next thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is protecting your hair at night. So I know we probably all know this, but make sure that you are tying your hair up at night. Make sure you're using a satin scarf or a bonnet or a satin pillowcase, whatever you want to use. Just make sure that you're protecting your hair while you're sleeping. You toss and turn a lot during the night, more than you probably even realize. And your hair rubbing up against a cotton pillowcase is just sucking all of that moisture out of your hair, and it's causing breakage. I personally like to sleep with my hair in a pineapple every single night, and I use a bonnet to sleep with. When my hair is straight like it is now, I do the same thing. I just did one big twist and put my hair up at the top of my head at night, tied it down with a scarf, and put a bonnet over top. And even when I was just lounging around on my couch, I kept my hair pinned up. And I did this because when my hair is straight, it's already in a vulnerable state, and I don't want my ends to be exposed all the time. So keep your hair tied up, keep your ends protected. and that way you won't get as much breakage. So my last tip for this video is to stay healthy. That probably sounds like a simple tip, but honestly, y'all, your hair is an extension of your overall health. Your hair grows out of your scalp, and so if the inside of you is not healthy, you're not going to have flourishing hair growth. It's just not going to happen. Your hair is going to look dull and lifeless if you are not taking in enough nutrients, you're not getting in enough fruits and vegetables, you're not getting in enough water. You need all of those things to have a healthy body, and that includes your hair, your nails, your skin. It's all related. If you don't feel like you're getting enough nutrients in your regular diet, you can always take vitamins. I do take a multivitamin every single day. I don't specifically take biotin by itself or anything like that, but there are people that do and it works for them. So if you feel like your hair is not growing at the rate that you expect it to, then maybe you need to incorporate some type of supplements or something into your regimen. So regardless of what you do, I promise you your hair will grow. The problem is not your hair growth, it's retaining your length on your ends. So if you follow some of these tips, I promise you will see results. You just have to be a little bit patient and also be dedicated. Sometimes you're not going to feel like doing your hair. Sometimes you're not going to feel like deep conditioning. You're not going to feel like tying your hair up, but you have to do it anyway. It's going to make all the difference in whether or not your hair is the same length that it is in 6 months as it is today. You have to start somewhere. And the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. And you honestly stop even thinking about your hair growth. It just kind of happens naturally. So if you have any tips that you found to be really helpful for you, please comment those down below. I want us to talk about these things. I love hearing about how you guys take care of your hair. So make sure that you let me know down below. If you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up. That really helps my channel. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll see y'all in the next video, and thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.